we're going to get into Daniss Jenkins. Now, as you guys know, he has 3 games remaining on his two-way contract. Two-way players are allowed to be active for 50 games, so he's been active for 47 games. His two-way will actually expire, ironically, on February 5th against the Washington Wizards. So, um, we got a report earlier this morning from Jake Fisher and Mark Stein on their Substack, and I'll be sharing an article that was published by the Real GM Wiretap. Now, the reason why I'm sharing it is because Mark Stein and Jake Fisher have a paid Substack. I'm sorry, I'm not giving you $12 a month. I'm just not. It's not that I don't have the $12. I'm just not like giving you $12 for um, articles that a lot of people just honestly just publicize for free anyways because they paid the $12 and they kind of not all heroes wear capes. So shout out the Real GM. But the article reads, Daniss Jenkins turned down a 2-year minimum contract from the Pistons. Goes on to say Detroit Pistons guard Daniss Jenkins turned down a contract that would have run for the remainder of this season and converted next season. Jenkins has been a regular rotation player for the Pistons while on a 2-way contract. The article also goes on to say that if Jenkins exhausts that eligibility, he'll be unable to be active in NBA games for Detroit for the remainder of the regular season. In addition, two-way players aren't eligible to play in the postseason. The Pistons have the ability to convert Jenkins to a rest of the season contract, which would make the guard eligible to play in remaining games as well as postseason. Jenkins would then be a restricted free agent this offseason. Detroit also has their 5.1 biannual exception, which they could use to offer Jenkins more money. However, using a biannual exception this season means it would not be able to be used next season. Now, before we kind of get into the Daniss Jenkins rejecting a contract from the Pistons, I do want to say this. Keith Smith, who's someone that I respect so much. If you guys don't follow Keith Smith, you definitely should during trading deadline because he tries to stay on top of it. He has a really good podcast too called The Front Office Show. But he kind of outlines why this is smart for Daniss Jenkins and his representation. It says locking into a 2-year deal now gives the Pistons all the control. This summer, Jenkins would be a restricted free agent, and Detroit would have his early bird rights. That should earn him more than a minimum for next season. He'll probably stay in Detroit on the minimum, but more likely for the rest of this season than a 2-year deal than a contract for this summer. So basically, what the Pistons are probably going to do, you guys, is they're just going to offer him a contract for the remainder of this season from February 6th until the playoffs end, right? And then they have a decision to make with him. How much are they going to offer him in restricted free agency? I thought they were going to be able to get like a 2-year veterans minimum deal, but obviously his representation wants him to make a little bit more money, and I understand that. Like, you want the most for your clients, and obviously like a 2-year vet minimum obviously isn't what they're really looking for, and I can understand that. I don't really know what they're going to offer him. I don't know if the Pistons are actually going to use their biannual exception like Real GM did mention. Don't really know what a contract for him is going to look like this summer. It'll be interesting to see what the reports are with that, but did kind of want to touch on the Daniss Jenkins news that did come out from Mark Stein.